Hi, School family, how are you? Today we are going to practice measuring with our Unifix cubes. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to get your Unifix cubes. And I have some animals here that we're going to measure. We're going to measure how long they are and how tall they are. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hold up my Unifix cubes and I'm going to measure them. And then I want you to count out the same amount of Unifix cubes so you can see how long and tall they are, okay? So if you need to, like I said, go ahead, pause the video and go ahead and get your Unifix cubes. Okay, are you ready? All right, so our first animal is this guy. Oh my goodness, it's a black bear. Look at that, he's got his big mouth open. He's ready to eat, I think. So let's see how many long he is. So I'm gonna put my Unifix cube at one end, and then I'm gonna measure where it stops. So do you see how my Unifix cubes are longer than him? So I don't want them to be longer than him because I want to know how many is right. So I'm going to take off one. Are they even yet? No. Okay, let's take another one off. Oops. How about now? Are they the same? Not yet. How about now? Yeah, look at that. They end at the same spot. See that? Okay, so he is this many long. Let's count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He is 7 Unifix cubes long. Go ahead and pause the video and you can count out 7 Unifix cubes, put them together, and you can see how long he is if he was there with you. All right, did you measure out all 7? Okay, now let's see how tall he is. So I'm gonna put it by his foot down here. And look, I still have some extra, don't I? Remember we talked about we don't want any extra. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off, let's take off 2 this time. Okay, I took off 2. Are the cubes still taller than him? Yep, let's take off another 2. How about now? They look the same, don't they? You don't see it. It's not coming up over his shoulder, is it? Nope, it's right up against it. So how many Unifix cubes tall is he? 1, 2, 3. He's 3 tall. So how many, go ahead and count out your 3. So how many was he long again? Do you remember? 7. And how many tall? 3. So which one's bigger, 7 or 3? What do you think? 7. 7 has more. Yes. Good work. All right. So we figured out our black bear measurements. Okay, I'm going to put my Unifix cubes all back together again, and I'm going to get my next animal. And my next animal is a cat. And look at how tiny she is. Oh my goodness. Do I need all these Unifix cubes for her? No. Let's take off a bunch. Okay, I took off a bunch of them. Still too many. How many more do you think I need to take off to get to her face? I think I just need 2 off. Let's see. Okay. Does that match? Yes. How many Unifix cubes is she long? 1, 2, 3. She's 3 long. She's tiny. Our black bear was 7. Okay, now let's see how tall she is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm ahead of myself. Go ahead and count out pause the video, go ahead and count out your 3 Unifix cubes long. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Now let's see how many tall she is. So I'm gonna put it by her little foot, and it looks like, oh my goodness, how many tall is she? so just get one more Unifix cube. Yes, she is 1. So how many long was she? 3. And how tall? 1. So which is bigger, 3 or 1? 3. And which one's smaller, 3 or 1? 1 is smaller. Yes, 1 is smaller. All right. Okay, let's do our next animal. It's this guy. Who is he? An elephant, right? An elephant. And I want to measure from his tail, including his trunk, because his trunk is sticking out. So I want to measure his trunk too. So I'm going to go ahead and hold my Unifix cubes just like I've been doing. Oh my goodness, look it. He's almost to the end. How many do you think I need to take off? What looks extra? Let me take off 2. Okay, I took off 2. But look, it's too short, isn't it? It doesn't go to the end of his trunk. So I'm going to add 1 back. Okay, oh, my Unifix cubes are coming apart. Did I do it? Does he match? He does. It goes from the tip of his trunk all the way to his tail. Oh man, he is long with that trunk. Let's see how many it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Oh my goodness. Okay, go ahead, pause the video, count out your 9 Unifix cubes and put them together. He is, with his trunk, he is a long elephant. Are you guys ready to see how tall he is? Okay, I'm gonna put it next to his foot and beside his head. And we're gonna take some off. Oops, dropped some, I'm so sorry. Okay, what do you think? Still too tall, isn't it? Okay, let me take off some more. How about now? Does it fit him now? Let me see, by his foot. It doesn't go past his head. So you don't see it peeking out the other side. How many tall is he? 1, 2, 3, 4. He is 4 Unifix cubes tall. Go ahead and count out your 4. Nice job. I think he was our longest one so far. Okay, we have one more animal. Are you guys ready for it? Okay, this is a bird, but the type of bird is called a parakeet. Can you say parakeet? There you go, parakeet. Now, if you look at our parakeet, he kind of goes at an angle, doesn't he? Because of his long feathers, his tail feathers. So how are we going to measure from the top of his head all the way down to his tail feathers? Because if I do it this way, that doesn't measure his head, does it? And if I do it this way, that doesn't measure his tail feathers. How can I put the Unifix cubes on him so that I get his tail feathers and his head? Could I lay it across his belly? Maybe. What if I laid it this way? Yeah, from the end of his tail feathers to the top of his head. Let's try that. Okay, I'm gonna take some off. Let's see. Oh, do I have enough? Does it go all the way to the top of his head? Nope, I'm gonna have to add some back on. Okay. Let me add another one. Oop. Okay, oh. Now it's too long, isn't it? Okay, I'm gonna take one off. Okay, end of his tail feather to the top of his head. Now look, this part goes a little bit past him, but if I take that one off, is it enough? No, because look, there's still this space on his head. So if I put one more on, how does that work? How many would that be? If it's not a full one, is it a half of one maybe? I think so. So we're only gonna count half of this Unifix cube. So I'm gonna cover up half of it. Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then what is this one? A half. So he is 6.5 long because it doesn't take the whole thing. It doesn't measure the whole unit. Oops. See, it doesn't take up the whole Unifix cube to get to his head. It's only half of it. So he is only 6.5 long. Now let's see how tall he is. Let's measure from his feet to his head. How many tall? Okay, see some extras here. I'm going to take them off. Okay, is that right? Nope, still too many. Let's take another one off. How about now? Oh, look at that. Almost, one more. How about, here, let me put him on this side. Oh, now he's too short. Let's add another one back on there again. Oh, there we go. So how many tall is he? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm so sorry. I forgot to have you guys count to 6.5. Go ahead and count your 4. Count your 4 for how tall he is. Now we're going to practice our 6.5. So get your 6. Remember, he was 6.5 tall. So we're going to practice. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a half. That means only counting half of that Unifix cube. You're going to cover up the other half. And that you have 6.5. He is 6.5 Unifix cubes long. Great work today, friends. I'm very proud of you. Measuring is not always easy. So I am very proud of you for trying, and thank you for measuring along with me. I'm sorry that I forgot sometimes. I'm so used to you guys. When I'm not talking to you guys, it's easy for me to just kind of forget. But when you guys are here, it's a little easier. So I'm sorry. But I'm glad you did it, and I'm glad you guys helped me with that problem solving of the half of a Unifix cube. That was kind of tricky, wasn't it? Good work today, guys. I'm excited you got to see some of our animals that we're going to learn about, and I can't wait to learn about even more with you guys. I will see you soon. Bye.